Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
Hi, thank you for tuning into the third episode of Conversations to Have with Your Advisor. We are going to be talking about financial freedom, keeping in line with the theme of Independence Day. So, when it comes to talking about financial freedom, two things we always ask savers are what are you doing because money is a constraint for you, and what would you do if you had all of the money in the world, right? And I think this kind of shows us where the journey to financial freedom can take you, and it gives some light on what your constraints are today, what your aspirations are, and how you can actually get from where you are to where you want to be.
So, financial freedom seems to be a common goal for most people. Achieving that seems to be a milestone that a lot of people today are chasing. In our previous video, we saw about how someone who was completely self-made was able to achieve financial freedom by starting afresh from their own means of earnings. So, it can definitely be made possible as long as you have patience, persistence, and perseverance.
And to add to that, I think a lot of us think that only if we get a head start in terms of an inheritance or a big break in terms of career, that's the only way in which you can hit this milestone earlier. But I think process matters a lot, and you've outlined what goes into that process. So I think if you know that financial freedom is achievable and it's not this big thing that's out of your reach, and it just takes process and dedication to get there, then I think you really have to start thinking about what next, right? And why it's important to think about what comes next.
So, a lot of times we keep financial freedom as a milestone, but it is a lot more important once you achieve it in terms of how you go about managing that corpus that you have built. So, while a lot of us might not necessarily retire or stop working once we achieve that milestone, we might want to take a back seat and slowly progress and move towards things that we are more passionate towards. So when it comes to that juncture, it's kind of important to kind of see how your asset allocation has to move around, where your corpus is going to be invested in, and how you want to grow that corpus if you're not necessarily going to be dipping into it. So a lot comes even in terms of managing the corpus after you have achieved financial freedom. And another important aspect also to keep in mind would be in terms of succession planning and how you want to pass on this inheritance once you have that money with you as well.
That actually makes a lot of sense, because if you don't have these milestones and if you don't have this vision for what beyond meeting my monthly expenses and my lifestyle expenses, then what tends to happen is you just have lifestyle creep, right? At every level of wealth, there's always something that's slightly out of your reach, or there's always something more luxurious that you want to reach out for. And then you're not really creating wealth, you're not actually feeling a sense of fulfillment, because the common perception is that financial freedom is just about money, but there is a much bigger picture that's there. Like, you are thinking about society, how you're contributing towards your family, how you're contributing towards your own personal aspirations, the kind of goals that you've put off because you've been waiting to have that financial flexibility to sort of achieve them. And I think that's why you need to have a milestone beyond financial freedom. You need to have a process that you can follow, not just until you get there, but well beyond that as well. And I think that vision and that kind of coming back to the drawing board and seeing what you can contribute and what you want to do with your wealth, what you want to do with your time once you're actually financially free, really matters.
So what we are trying to say is, once you're closer to achieving your milestone, or once you have achieved the milestone, it's important to talk to your advisor. Take stock of where is, what your personal goals are going to be, what your financial goals are going to be once you hit the milestone, and how you want to move forward and achieve more with what you've already created.
So thank you for tuning into this video, and wishing you a very happy Independence Day and a smooth journey to financial freedom. Do get in touch with us if you have any questions on how you can get there.